we live at 24/7 that she's missing, and it's our child. It's she's, to some people, she may just be a girl that's missing. To us, like, she's our world, she's our daughter, and we need to find her. We need to get her home where she belongs. This is just, it never lets up. Never. You're reminded of it constantly.
What's going on, guys? What you just seen is the first part to a documentary that was put together by Dawn and Eldon Scott and half of the people in Vanderhoof, British Columbia. They are the parents of the young woman that they talk about in this documentary. Her name is Madison Scott. Now, to start with, her case is actually what got me started with my YouTube channel. It's what motivated me and drove me to do the videos that I do about people who vanish mysteriously in national parks and forests and so on and so forth, etc. Her story, her case, her disappearance really tugged at my heart. It was something that I was drawn to. It made me want to find out more about her. It made me want to do a lot of things. It just really messed with my heart. It's just strange because of how everything happened and how it ended. It was just a big mess. But to begin with, as far as what happened with her, first of all, like I said, her name is Madison Scott. She was 20 years old, and she vanished without a trace on May 28th, 2011. But before all that happened, she was actually going to a birthday party that was being held at Hogsback Lake. It is a campground slash, but it's a foresty area, slash campground. Well, first of all, the party was being posted on Facebook, so everybody showed up. But she wanted to go. She had planned to. She didn't really have too many. She didn't really know what she was gonna do that night. She was just kind of up in the air with things that she was gonna do, because one of her friends that was in another town. St. George. A friend of hers that was in St. George came to Vanderhoof to visit her, because they were supposed to have been hanging out that same night. But she texted her and told her that she was going to a birthday party at Hogsback. So she was like, sorry. So she basically canceled the plans that they had together at that point. I guess she didn't want to disappoint her friend. Since it was her birthday. And that's the kind of person she is. She always thought of her friends, no matter what was going on. If she made a promise to somebody, she kept it. And her she had made a promise to a friend to come to her birthday party. Now, she was accompanied by her best friend, whose name is Jordy Bolduc. When she was on her way to the party, she realized that she had the wrong size. I think it was the wrong size tent, so she had to get the wrong size pegs, so she had to go back home and get some more. So she did. She turned around, went back home, and this was around 9:30 that Friday night. And she came in. Her mom saw her, Dawn, and she said she saw her. She was like, "What are you doing back?" She said, "Oh, I forgot some more supplies, her tent pegs." So she got them, and she went back out. And before she went back out the door, her mom was like, "Well, have a good time, be safe, and I love you." And that was the last she spoke to her, and the last she had heard from her or seen her. So at that point, she headed to the party, And when they got there was a total of 150 people at the party. And the ages range from 18 to 40. You know, the big question is, why were 40-year-olds at the party? You know, we're talking about a bunch of high school kids. You know, but I guess, you know, when you live in a town like that where everybody knows each other, that's what happens. You know, you hear about a party, you want to go to it, and it's like, oh, come on in, you know. So after that, you know, things started getting a little rowdy because a lot of them were drunk. Fights, I think a fight had broke out, and Jordy got knocked into a bonfire, and she got hurt, burned, I'm pretty sure. And so her boyfriend at the time picked her up and was carrying her back to the car because he was going to take her home. And as she was getting ready to leave, she was like, no, Maddy was like, no, don't leave, because, you know, she had a tent already set up and she was already in bed at that point. And she said, well, I can't stay because I'm like super drunk, so I'm going to go home. You can come with us. And she was like, no, my tent's already set up. You know, I'm just going to stay. I'm going to camp out, you know, until tomorrow. Okay, so she was just like, okay. She felt bad about it because she came back the next day to find out what happened. But before all that, she, you know, like I said, she was there, and people were leaving in certain groups. So by the time Jordy left, there was only a total of 5 people out of the 150 that was there. And I'm pretty sure that Maddy thought that there was going to be people there, but that didn't turn out so well. So Friday came and went. Saturday morning, so somewhere between 3:30 and 8:30 in the morning, something happened to her. They just don't know what, and there's no evidence to show that something happened to her. But the RCMP think that it had to have been somebody that wasn't at the party, because they polygraphed everyone that was at Hogsback at that same night, and even the people that was there the night after, and they all passed it. And even Jordy passed it. You know, she took the polygraph test because everybody said that she was the last person to see her.
Hey man, you want to cut it off now and open the window with the breeze coming in?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, the best, you know, using the dates on
Yeah.
Yeah, alright.
Okay.
I'll be upstairs,
All right. But yeah, so at that point, she, like I said, she passed the test, and everybody thought that she was boasting about it because she was being interviewed about 48 hours, and she was like, and they asked her, so you took the polygraph test, and she was like, I aced it. I aced the test. You know, so she was happy. Now, people will look at that and say that, why is she all boasting about it? I mean, she knows something. I know she do. That's what everybody was saying. Even today, well, I think what it is on the documentary that's on YouTube, the comment section is littered with a bunch of, you know, comments about how could someone just leave a person behind if you're supposed to be their friend, and she knows something, I know she does. But people, let's focus on the fact that she passed the polygraph test. Now, polygraph tests are made to tell if someone is lying. She did not lie, so therefore she had nothing to do with it, and she is relieved because she already knew she wasn't, you know, she didn't have nothing to do with it, but she just relieved that everybody saw that she passed the polygraph test, you know. But I think people still have those thoughts in their head saying that she had something to do with it, and people calling her stupid and ugly, all kinds of crap, you know. And I hate that she's going through it. I personally don't think she had anything to do with it because, you know, I mean, I wasn't there, so I don't know. But at the same time, she passed the polygraph test, so that's got to say something, right? I mean, that's just my personal opinion, you know. But we all have to focus on the matter at hand, and that's getting Maddy home, depending on where she's being held. Okay, the idea is to come up with whatever solution we can, find out who may know something about her disappearance, and get them in so they can confess if they can find someone. The big problem is nobody knows what happened, so there's no leads into what could have happened to her unless somebody was to slip up. That's the only thing I can think of. But yeah, so like I said, at that point, Dawn, she was waiting for her Maddy to call, but that never happened. And she knew that the reception out there wasn't very good, so that's what she was banking on as to why she didn't call her. I guess she figured she'll hear from her when she's walking through the door or something, or when she gets back into town where there is a reception. She could call her, like say if she's on the road back to the house or something like that, But Friday came and went. Saturday came, and this is the part where Jordy actually got a little, she felt bad about her leaving her behind like that. So she went back to Hogsback to check on her. And when she got there, she said the tent was open and all her stuff was pushed to the side in both directions. So it was like she was trying to move it out the way so she could, lay down and sleep or whatever the case may be. Now there was a part where she said that the tent had been knocked down. Now I had to listen to that part constantly because I was trying to differentiate the different parts that I was hearing about that tent, because they showed a video of a helicopter flying over Hogsback, and you could see her truck parked right next to the picnic table, and you could see her tent, which was a blue tent, and it was up and fully, it was fully tinted, and it wasn't knocked down, and I couldn't tell if the door was open or not, but that might have been. It's just kind of weird to kind of comprehend when did that tent get knocked down, because I think Jordy said that when she arrived at the campsite, she saw that the door to her tent was open, but she didn't. And after that, I think she said that it had been knocked down. And then I think Dawn Scott said that she saw her tent, but in the first part of the video, she didn't mention that she saw that it was knocked down. But later on, I think later on in the video or in another video about what happened to her, she said it was knocked down. But she went back to the campsite to look for her because they haven't heard from her yet, and they saw some people there that had been there for a couple of days. This was after the party, and she went over to them because she recognized the fact that they knew her, and so she talked to them, and they said they hadn't seen her. So after that, that's when she really started to worry and realized that something is not right, because she called Jordy that morning, Saturday. Well, she called her mom first to find out where she was, and she said that she's been in since Saturday, like since Friday night and Saturday morning, because she had to go to work, but see, Jordy did not call her mother and father to let her know that she didn't see her there. She wasn't there. She never mentioned it to them. So that right there put her up as a red flag. Her actions, the fact that she didn't even tell the parents that she wasn't there. I guess maybe in her mind she didn't want to worry them, but at the same time, we're talking about her parents. You can't do that. But what's done is done. She didn't do it, and so she just went on about her day working, and then when her mother got there and she realized that something was wrong, she called the RCMP to report her as a missing person, because she didn't do it but the first time because she knew how resourceful she was and how responsible she was, so she knew that she was going to be fine. So she didn't have any reason to, call the RCMP, because first of all, Madison Scott is a Renaissance woman. This is the way I see it, because she's into some of everything, visual arts. She was a part of a crew called Shenanigan Productions, and they were the top of their class in visual arts because of the stuff that they've created with movies and home movies and stuff like that. She's very good at writing and directing, because they say she's a take charge kind of person. She always take control of everything. So I guess to her, she want to make sure everything's done right in her eyes. But she's a all around nice person. She's her brother said that she's very dynamic. Because one minute you'll see her in a dress, and the next minute she's in coveralls, changing the oil in her truck. So she knows how to do some everything. She's into water sports like jet skiing, horseback riding, dirt bike riding, you name it. She does. She even plays hockey. So she's an all around sports nut. You know, she loves the outdoors. She loves her friends. She loves to socialize. You know, so she's a very well-rounded person. She's very happy. She'll give you the shirt off of her back to help you. You know, so she was, I won't say she was perfect, but she was a very well liked person in that town. Everybody knew her, whether it be the grown-ups to the kids in school. Everybody knew her and everybody loved her. So you can imagine that when they found out that she was missing, everybody was floored. Some of them didn't even want to believe it because they knew they couldn't happen to her, but it did. You know, so anyway, after she called RCMP, she basically reported her as missing, and she gave them a description of her, you know, just like what you would do when you're doing stuff like that. So here it is. I'm going to show this little clip right here.
Didn't really see anything. So shortly thereafter, Dawn contacted the police.
RCMP? Hi, I'm calling. My daughter is 20. We're at Hogsback, and I haven't heard from her since Friday night. And we just came out, and our pickup is here in the vehicle, and people haven't seen her at all.
Okay, what's her name?
Madison Scott.
And what's her date of birth?
April 29th, 91.
So she was last heard from on Friday?
Friday night, yes.
Okay.
All of her stuff's here, but yeah, I don't know.
Where does she live? With you?
Yes, with us in Vanderhoof.
I noticed some people up there, and I went over, and it happened to be a friend of Maddy's.
Yeah, okay. Like I was saying earlier, you know, she went over to these people that they saw, and then she recognized them because she saw that they were friends of Maddy. She asked them had they seen her. They said no. Now, like I said, that's when she really got worried, and she furthered the information that she gave RCMP about, you know, the fact that she was missing, and gave her a complete description of her. Now, Maddy Scott is, you know, she's about 5'4". She's like 170-ish as far as pounds. She has ginger-colored hair, which is down to her down her neck towards her spine. You know, it's like basically neck length hair. She has green eyes, and she has a bird silhouette tattoo on her inner left wrist. And, you know, she's very pretty, you know, and she had, you know, she had a great smile, and she always looked happy. She was always smiling, and every photo that they showed on this documentary, you know, she was always smiling. From the time when she was a little girl, they had a picture of her when she was just like maybe probably 3, and then they had showed a photo of her at 13, I believe, when she had a birthday party. So they had constant photos of her. They were constantly snapping pictures. She had made all these videos with her friends, so everybody had a piece of her. They, you know, so she wasn't that kind of person that would just turn away from something that was going to be fun. She always went towards it, you know. Now when she went to Hogsback, that was on the 29th. That was the day when self-realization set in, and she realized that something wasn't right, and that's, like I said, she called RCMP. Now after that, that's when the search started, and to this day, it is a total, well, May 28th 2017 will mark 7 years that she's been missing. Now Dawn and Eldon Scott has put together these like a function called poker rides that they do. I think they say it's like every weekend at 7 o'clock in the morning, and they have put together ATVs, horses, and people that just want to walk, and they actually built a trail for these ATVs and the horses and everything that they can walk down to search for Maddy, just in case they were to find something. Now the thing is, her parents need closure, so whether the news is good or bad, either way, they know that they found their daughter. And there have been so many different people that have called into Crime Stoppers or that hotline that's in Vanderhoof about, you know, Maddy, and they would say that they saw her here or they saw her there, but none of it actually panned out. So I ask anyone within the sound of my voice, looking at this video from all across the world, whoever you are, if you know anything about what happened to Maddy Scott, please call the number that I will be putting down in the video description. There's going to be probably two numbers. One is a hotline that they put together in Vanderhoof, and one is Crime Stoppers. Okay, you don't have to give your name with Crime Stoppers if you don't want to, but if you do, you call them and you tell them, what happened. You know, just guys, come on now. It's been 7 years. Okay, she's been gone that long. She needs to come home. So if there's anybody out there that has her, obviously you doing what you did is not helping you whatsoever, because obviously you don't have no reward money. I don't know if the ransom money has been talked about. I doubt it, because if that was the case, I'm pretty sure they would have televised it. But I don't even know if they even asking for ransom money. They just probably doing it because they want to, you know. And I would hope and pray that nothing of any other kind, like a sex trade organization, because you have these organ harvesting people, and they got people like that girl that disappeared in Aruba, but like I said, that's just speculation. I don't want to put any more onto her case than what already is, because there's no evidence to back all that up, and I don't have it, so I don't want to be looked at as someone that's just making stuff up. And also, I definitely don't want to put her in the category of the missing 411 stories, because that's just kind of stretching a little bit too much, even though a lot of what happened with her fits a lot of the criteria, like the fact that she was an extreme outdoors person. She was a well-liked person. She was at that range age of the people that disappear, like 20s, in her early 20s. I don't think she had any ailments or any medical problems, because most of the people that are taken have medical problems, or they have like a handicap, is what I want to say, a handicap. She didn't have any of those. So, but like I said, she loved the outdoors, and she was there by herself, so that was the perfect opportunity for her to be taken by whatever or whoever it was. But like I said, I don't want to do that. I don't want to put her in that category just yet, because there's not enough evidence to even state that that's what happened, even though she just vanished off the face of the earth. It seems that's the way it looks. So, but yeah, right now the only thing that matters is trying to get her home, and they're doing everything they can. And I'm telling you right now, I am very intrigued, and I'm very elated on how they're handling the situation. I mean, every single person in that town is involved in getting the word out there about Maddy, and spreading the word about her disappearance and trying to figure out what happened to her. They are the most vigilant people that I've ever seen in my life when it came to a family member disappearing, or a child. The parents are deeply involved in it. Her friends, the people in the town. I mean, we're talking about people who have searched for her since day one, and they still are. They have personal close friends that have boats and helicopters who flew over Vanderhoof, looking down at the vastness of the wilderness that surrounds Vanderhoof, which is very thick, by the way. And then you have people who have actual boats with like underwater radar, where you can see what's under there. And they were getting help from all kinds of people from everywhere. People would actually cancel their vacation and just spend the summer looking for her. That is how dedicated they are to finding her. Now, if she is somewhere within the wilderness of Vanderhoof, we're talking about areas that haven't been touched in years. Okay, they got cabins that's still standing. They've probably been standing there for like maybe, I don't know, 80 years, since like maybe the 1800s maybe. But there's a lot of area in Vanderhoof that has never been touched or hasn't been touched in a long time. So the area just keeps growing and growing and growing as far as the fauna and the trees, and for a person to be found in all of that, it'd be like finding a needle in a haystack, and that's the worst part about it. I don't know if they have enough manpower to even search these areas, because you got to stride over bush and brush, twigs, all kinds of stuff. Swampy areas, mossy areas, you name it. They have to walk through all this stuff just to even bump into something that may be a dead body. And there have been some dead bodies, found in that area. But this area is like, it's about 50 miles away from, 50 miles or less away from Hogsback Lake. And that area is the Highway of Tears, where a lot of Native American women have vanished or have been killed or kidnapped. And the same thing with, American women, young American women, like 18 and up. It's like maybe a total of 30 or 40 people that have turned up missing, on the Highway of Tears. And there's a big case on that, which was also covered on 48 Hours. But, yeah, I myself personally would love to go there and be a part of the poker rides, just to see if I could find anything along with the people that's there. Maybe find something that nobody actually saw, where I could probably be drawn or led to the area where she might be, if that's the case. So I really do hope that one day they will find solace, and they will find her. But even if they were to find her remains, at least they know they could give her the proper burial. At least they know they finally brought her home, just not in the way that they would have wanted to. So, to all you people out there, like I said, when I'm done with the video, I will put the numbers that you can call to Crime Stoppers, and the hotline for, it's called Finding Maddy, and you can put your information in there. You can call the number, and if you got any leads, let them know, whatever the case may be. It's just we just got to do something. That's why I'm doing my part. I'm spreading the word, and I actually saw it was a newsreel of her disappearance, which was actually it's like maybe it was done 5 years. The video was put up there on her brother's page 5 years after the fact. So it's actually an old video. There hasn't been any other evidence or any other newsreels about her case, unless you just put it out there. But yeah, so I was actually on his page and on Jordy's page, and Jordy hasn't been on Facebook since March of 2011, and this was a month. Let me see. No, let me see. She disappeared in May, so she hasn't been on Facebook since that day. Because I think she had to just stay off of Facebook because she was being chastised by a bunch of people that she knew. Everybody was just hounding her about this, saying, I know you know something, you need to come clean, and this and that and the other. So she said that she was being harassed a lot on Facebook, so that's why she don't get on it. I think it said that she hasn't been on it since either March or May of 2011, and it had the date, so I'd have to look at it again, but it said that she hasn't been up there since 2011. And her brother, he's still on Facebook. I saw him up there, and I when I saw that video of the newsreel about her case, I made my comment, and I told him that I would love to be able to have a chance to talk to you about her case. If there's anything else that hasn't been put out there in the news or on a documentary, and I told him that I have my own YouTube channel, and that I actually posted a video about her case, because I had been following it for at least 2 years at that point. And I told him, if you want to talk, I posted my number on there, and so hopefully he'll call me. And if not, that's cool, because he still got a life to lead, and I'm pretty sure they have done like over 1 million interviews about what happened with his sister. So I can totally understand if he doesn't ever call me, because he don't know me, and I understand that too. But I just let him know that I'm just as driven to find out what happened to her and to try and get the word out there so everybody will know, because a lot of people that I know didn't even know anything about her disappearance. I didn't find out until what, years later, because she disappeared in 2011 of May, and I didn't find out about this until like years later. It was like maybe 3-4 years at the time, because I think the 5th year anniversary was coming up when I found out about it. You know, or you can look at the videos below. It should have the date of when I posted it and the year, so that'll let you know exactly how long I've been doing this, you know, and when I first started. And she is the reason why. She was my inspiration. So, and I'm gonna keep on doing what I'm doing. I'm gonna make sure that everybody has everything they need as far as the information. I don't want to, you know, promote any cheesy information. I don't want to lie. I don't want to ad lib. I don't want to add stuff that don't have anything to do with what I'm talking about, unless it is remotely you know, remotely close to what I'm saying. But you know, sometimes, you know, I'll ramble sometimes. But anyway, but yeah, that's my time on this video. I just wanted to post this, you know, as an anniversary video for the, you know, the years that she's been missing, and a recap, because there were some things that I had posted that I said was wrong, you know, or not. I wouldn't say wrong, but well, yeah, that's the way to look at it. I got it wrong. But yeah, so I just want to thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you like it, and I hope that the information that I have given you will help you understand what happened with her. You know, like I said, there is no known information about her as of now. And it's, like I said, it's been 7 years, and they're still looking for her with this poker riot thing that they got going on, and it's doing very well. Everybody's involved, you know. And like I said, one day, hopefully, I will actually get a chance to go out there and help them with the poker riots. I would actually love to do that, you know, but I'd have to plan, you know, the whole trip just to go out there. And I do want to make a trip to Australia too, and take my channel over there and do some videos and post some videos in that area, because you know, Kim Star 66 sends me stuff about Australia all the time. So I would love to go out there and see what's really going on, be there, you know, in the areas that all this crazy stuff happens, like in the bush. So, but anyway, that's my time. I want to thank you guys for listening. I want to welcome all my new subscribers to my channel, and I hope that you like all the videos that I'm posting, you know, and if you do, I got more coming, as always. So without further ado, I will see you guys once again later. Okay, I'm gonna keep posting. You already know that. So I'll see you guys once again. Just keep your eyes peeled to my channel to listen out for my notifications. All right, you know what to do. Tell your friends about me. Tell them to subscribe to my channel if they like hearing about this stuff. And because I want to keep going with the subscription, man. I want to get up there. I want to get at least once I hit 200, I still know I'm doing real good. So I'm at 174. You know, I want to keep going. So guys, you got, like I said, you just keep on doing what you want to help me out. All right. So once again, I will see you guys later. Aloha, mahalo, and ahuiho.